This is an add to the second part of neurophysiological exam. I gave the elbow as an example of assessing this, and it occurred to me that you might get a little bit more out of it if you knew how neurophysiological and mechanical problems can affect something like a tennis elbow. So segmental facilitation tends to cause joint dysfunctions and tendon dysfunctions in a couple of different ways. Increased tone and weakness. They're the main ways this happens. Tone increase simply because it can limit movement and supposedly cause adaptive shortening, if you believe in that. But I think probably more likely is that the tight muscle will act as an abnormal ligament on the joint, change the axis of rotation, set up shear and torque forces that are abnormal and may damage the joint itself. Weakness is almost certainly the most common way of causing a degenerative tendinopathy and muscle tears. But this may also be via tone, and what you get is people saying things like it's a length-tension relationship thing without actually knowing what that means. Something like a tennis elbow, the amount of movement that the wrist goes through when it's working isn't very much. So putting this down as changes in the length and the tension doesn't really work terribly well. So my feeling is that it's mostly about weakness with segmental facilitation, and it's mostly about tone changes with alteration of the axis of motion. That's my feeling about it anyway. As far as reflex inhibition is concerned, this can cause tennis elbow in a couple of ways. One is you can do it indirectly by increasing the neutral zone of a joint, which then moves into end zone instability and then produces reduced reflex inhibition. So going that route. The other way this can happen is, again, the muscle weakness caused by reflex inhibition, and also the tone changes quite possibly can lead to a muscle becoming degraded and then becoming damaged, the muscle or the tendon unit. So those are the things why we're concerned with segmental facilitation and joint and reflex inhibition. So it's forget the spine, all right, for the moment anyway. Understand that changes to the joint itself, or a joint not where the tennis elbow is, but say in the wrist, can lead to reflex inhibition because of degeneration of those joints. So you've got this feedback, feed-forward loop going on, and things get worse and worse and worse. With segmental facilitation, my feeling is that that's not as influential as reflex inhibition, but that's just my feeling. But both of these need to be dealt with. You need to assess them for etiology and also whether they're there or not, which isn't always that blindingly obvious. So hope that helps you look at part 2, and talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.